Ona is my name from the Community Workers Co-op. I'm not sure I actually need a microphone because I could probably talk loud enough that you hear me down the back anyway. I think it's important to say something at this stage, because for people that talk a lot about collective action, I feel that sometimes when it comes towards the end of a seminar like this, collective action sometimes translates into what ye should be doing, ye at the top table, or some of the other ones down the back, or maybe some of the people in suits or those without the suits. But I think it's important to say that, because I think if we buy into the ideas that we're talking about and the values that we're talking about here, and if we are going to move forward to practice what we preach, I think we need to find ways into making that vision real and bring the document forward. And I think what's important in relation to that, and what I like about Is Féidir Líne, is that there's no single ownership or identity in relation to any one identity. I suppose no need to name the range of ones that we're often part of, or sometimes choose not to be part of. But that the we is us, and the ownership needs to lie with us. And if we actually want and believe in trying to make that vision real, then it is up to us to try and see how do we do that. And I think it's up to the people that design today into trying to present a mechanism for people to engage with that, and use our own networks and the areas that we work with ourselves and the people we work with to try and make the vision real.
Thank you very much. Owen O'Brien, I'm a member of Sinn Féin, and I work in the voluntary sector, but I'm just here in an individual capacity. One of the things I wanted to kind of comment on was that I started working in the voluntary sector in the last 12 months, having worked full-time in politics for 15 years in Belfast near Dublin. And what struck me in my experience in the last 12 months is actually how disengaged from the political system a lot of the community voluntary sector are. Now, often that's for very good reasons, and people have pointed out many of those reasons. But what's really challenging about the Is Féidir Líne project and the content of this document is that it kind of asks us to do something which is very, very difficult for our organisations to do as community voluntary sector organisations, which is to step beyond the very particular area that we work and look at, as the lady who spoke at the very start of the floor, the kind of structural changes that are needed in our society to deliver the kind of real transformation that the people that we all represent or advocate on behalf of require. And I think that means we're going to have to look at how we engage with the party political system, how we engage with the state, not because we want them to do things for us, but because we actually have an ability to force the pace of change if we do it in a collective way, rather than just in the very kind of siloed, individual, piecemeal way that our organisations do. So the one challenge I throw out to everybody here, and that's with my party political hat on, is people need to think how they engage with political parties, the party political system, and the state. And if there are parties or individual politicians who don't support the kind of transformation that we all know in this room that we require, then we need to do something about that to support and assist those, no matter what party they come from, do support this kind of transformation. It's a huge challenge, but it's also one that's unavoidable.
Thank you. It's good to have green people here and NGO sector representatives as well as community and voluntary. The only reason I stood up to was to say that in terms of collective action, after after quite a number of years, the Community Development Programme has set up a national body that everyone more or less, or everyone does agree with, as the way forward. And we know, people, volunteers, workers paying their own expenses to go to meetings and so on. But it's the times have brought about the change in a time of crisis. People will rise to opportunities, and at least this United Programme, in terms of it was 180 projects, are developing a national voice, and that's something that is Féidir Líne can work with. Thank you.
All right, my name is Bill Avon. I work with the Migrant Rights Centre Ireland. I'll be very quick. I'm just thinking, looking back at thinking what Jack was saying. Just a few months ago, ICTU came out with a 10-point plan. And it was pushed and lobbied, and it was out in the public. And I think it was a bit of a shame that the rest of us, say, the community sector, which I'm a part of, weren't maybe standing and pushing behind that bit in solidarity. Now, we weren't asked, that's the other thing, I guess, as well, so it goes both ways. So I think there's, and this is maybe this conference as well, is putting a lot of the things that are in here in that 10-point plan already. And we've talked about collective action. There's a great opportunity. We talked about chaos as well. Yes, it's great to have some chaos, but I think there's a degree of which we can organize around some basic common principles, and out of those basic common principles, we can agree on some things and not be so splintered. And when somebody goes ahead and pushes something that the rest of us can organize around it, I think there's great potential. Maybe Better Lead is that thing that starts us getting to talk, getting so that we share ownership over a common agenda. Thank you.